Shout out to everybody that's here now, early Saturday morning in the United States. If you're in California, it is 6:30 in the morning. So shout out to anybody that's joining us from the West Coast. Shout out to everybody around the world that's joining. Shout out to you all. So we got a couple of things to talk about here. Also, shout out to Porter Rock. He did a one-on-one interview with Post Up yesterday, so you all want to go check that out. Make sure you go check that out. 60 Frames No Lag will be back on Tuesday night. Just so you know, it's not going nowhere, okay? Porter Rock was on the road, and he was able to set all that up with Post Up. So good for them. They had a pretty good, interesting conversation. I'm not a huge fan of Post Up, so I listened to some of it. But I implore that you all go and listen and make up your own minds. And see where things are headed. So we got a few things to talk about here this morning, as you can tell. We got the Kadokawa news. You have the Take-Two news. You got a huge PSSR update to whatever the newest version of PSSR is. These games are now starting to run them. So again, remember, you all were told ain't nobody going to take advantage of it. Only the first party, blah, blah, blah. Again, the same things you were told a few years ago about Sony's SSD and the way they built their system. Again, these guys do not understand it. Sony goes out and talks to EA, Rockstar Games, Capcom, Square Enix, and a host of other people when they're actually building their console. Kojima Productions, a host of a bunch of people, so that they can get a bead on where these developers are going, and then they want to produce a product that the developers can use with ease. So this is going into what Mark Cerny was talking about when Cerny was talking about, well, it's not the PS5 Pro. He was hearing was RDNA 3, RDNA 4, and he said it's RDNA 2 based. However, it is a hybrid with all RDNA modules in it. So it's got RDNA 3 and 4 in it. And you're seeing that with the ray tracing. And the ray tracing that AMD is going to have with their RDNA 4 consoles, the PS5 has that in it. So if you want to know why Lisa Su's coming out talking about ray tracing all of a sudden, it's because they have gone in with Sony, and Sony has their own version of upscaling. It's called PSSR. AMD has FSR. And FSR 4 is apparently keeping up with DLSS, but you have to wait and see how that all turns out. Because if a game is specifically optimized for NVIDIA, the NVIDIA cards are going to run it better. If a game is specifically made for AMD, AMD's cards will more than likely run it better. It just makes sense to me. And so what Sony did is they said, well, we want to make something that's specifically for our console. And that's what they did with PSSR. But make sure you go check that out. I'm going to go ahead and play the Star Wars game again today at some point. I'm still playing Dragon Age now, so I know what you're going to say. The music was playing too long. Like, well, yeah, I was fighting a boss on Dragon Age. And of course, Dragon Age is making me go 100% woke. That's why I knew about Grand Theft Auto being woke. I knew about Ghost of Yote. I knew it was going to be woke. And all these other games, Assassin's Creed, going to be woke. It's all going to be woke, so just get ready for the utter wokeness and what's going on. All right. So, but shout out to you all here. Let me give a special round of applause to the coffee crew this morning. Briaris is in the house. He's a mod. Always here supporting. Mike 405, what's happening? And then there's Hero Down Under. Man, he is, I believe, all the way down in Australia. So shout out to everybody. Make sure you leave a like. I have a poll up. Says, are you happy about Take-Two and Kadokawa news? Now remember, all this stuff with Kadokawa, I tried to tell you all, Sony was going to be publishing Kadokawa, and people were telling you Kadokawa's games through Firm and all that, and not just the games, but the anime. They're going to produce that. They're going to publish that. They're going to produce the comic books that Kadokawa makes. It's all going to go under Sony Publishing and the games. So, but I know you all are more interested in the games. But you can clearly see I had this article up from yesterday or from 2 days ago, and clearly it says here Sony. This is from Gamer Rant, and trying to see when this was. All right, 19 hours ago. So right here, and clearly, let me put it in bigger, bolder letters. Sony will help fund and publish new games from Software's parent company. Again, you remember you were being told Sony doesn't own this, and they run it. They run it. Okay, Magic Johnson did not run. Magic Johnson didn't own the Lakers, but he ran that team. Michael Jordan didn't own the Chicago Bulls, but he ran that team. They are the Michael Jordan for Kadokawa. So it says here, Sony will help fund and publish future game projects from Software parent company Kadokawa. Now, I'm not a major fan of From Software games, but you all can put in the chat, if you all don't mind to help me out, what games did From Software make? Like, what are they known for? Because maybe I just don't know what they make. So I want you all to participate. I know it's early. Get the donut and coffee out of your mouth. Go ahead and type in what game or games maybe that you have played that From Software has made. Okay. Since Kadokawa will use Sony's funding, again, Sony's funding them now because they're in control, to expedite development and distribution of new IPs for games, movies, and TV shows. Remember, the TV shows can be, they may have an anime. Do they make Sekiro? Shadows die 100 times. I don't know why the shadow has to die a whole lot. But they could make a cartoon or a TV show like that. Or a movie. I don't know if you like to see a movie like that. And and the game. So if there's a Sekiro Shadows Die 3 times part 2, or Shadows Die 3 times because you all can't kill the shadow, then you'll here you go. Sony will be funding that, and I'm telling you right now, part of Sony's funding and part of Sony's publishing will be, can you type in the word exclusive? Can you type that in the chat for me? Exclusive game. That's what's going to be done. And everybody knows it. I'm the one that told you that Sony's going to be running it. And people are like, yeah. Well, we now know. Now we have it. Okay, we have it in writing. This is something that we told you, but I was always like, well, you have to wait for an official announcement. But now we have an official announcement. So now you know. Now you know. And if you know, blow. So Sony is running Kadokawa. They're going to publish the games. They're going to publish TV shows. They're going to publish anime. They're going to do it all. Right? So you all now know you don't have to argue with people. You don't have to go online going back and forth. It's like, look, we have a statement released from Kadokawa. Sony's running it. Let's just leave it there. So it says only time will tell whether future Kadokawa games will carry PlayStation branding and possibly even serve as a console exclusive. Yeah, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. So just get it ready. Get it ready. They will have exclusive content. So From Software parent company, this is going into the record now. From Software parent company Kadokawa From Software's, that should be From Software's parent company, Kadokawa, has confirmed that Sony will lend a hand in funding and publishing its future game projects. Well, now let's look at when Sony does this. Sony did this for Rise of Ronin. Sony did this for Spider-Man. Sony did this for what was the name of this? Stellar Blade. Sony did this for those games. Now, I want you to ask yourself, the 3 games I just named, did Sony help fund and publish? Are those 3 games only available on PlayStation? Now, some of them may be on PC now, perfectly fine. But when those games came out, I want to see what you all are saying, because we're having a convo here. So at the end of the day, now you know. This is Sony is going to be funding these games. They're not going to fund them. They're not going to fund the games and then and publish them and then say, well, they're going to publish them everywhere day and date. Well, it doesn't mean that they won't eventually, but the games that they are physically making, physically funding, physically publishing, they're going to be exclusive to Sony. So it is what it is. Oh, they made Tenchu. Oh, okay, cool. Here we go. Says one of the key drivers behind the acquisition, again, there's that term, acquisition, was supposedly Kadokawa's bustling anime business, but Sony fans, again, that's you guys, were much more interested in the game studios Sony could add to its first-party portfolio. Kadokawa owns RPG maker, developer, Gotcha Games, Danganron Ropey, hope I'm saying that right, developer Spike Chunsoft, Tenchu developer Acquire, and of course, Elden Toilet Ring. Okay, they make Toilet Ring, and then Dark Souls developer From Software. Okay, so that's what you all have been talking about, right? The rumors and speculation were ultimately resolved a month later when Sony and Kadokawa announced a joint venture where the PlayStation parent company would spend $318 million, that's a lot of chicken wings, to expand Kadokawa to expand its ownership. I'm sorry. And again, there's your word. So now you see acquisition, ownership, all right, being used together, of the media conglomerate to 10%, the largest of any shareholder. Meanwhile, Kadokawa would team up with Sony to elevate many of the former IPs to a global level. In the recent Q3 2025 earnings report, Kadokawa discussed this alliance further, most notably confirming, are you ready for it? Spread your cheeks. Confirming that it will secure funding from Sony to expedite creation and distribution of new IPs across the realms of video games, movies, and TV shows. So when Sony, shout out to William Aguilar. Oh, William Aguilar going mainstream here. So, and he has a nice little blow up here. What's going to happen? Shout out to William Aguilar. Certainly hope he doesn't mind me putting this on the screen. So, future From Software games may sport PlayStation branding thanks to Sony and Kadokawa publishing deal. This is what we told you was going to happen. Remember, this is going to come from William Aguilar. So shout out to William Aguilar. Make sure you all follow him. He follows a lot of the business stuff. So you all can see this yourself. Okay? Kadokawa, the ability to create. Let me see if I can blow this up. Nope. Okay. It says Kadokawa right here. What I'm reading right here. The ability to create IP, that's intellectual property, particularly publications, animations, and games. Publications, I believe, are magazines, things like that, comic books. Animations, of course, self-explanatory. That's anime. Remember, out east, they say anime. We mean animation, but they say anime. And games. Now, time Sony. The ability to develop animations. We know they have an animation studio. We know they make movies. And we know they make games and music. So, it's done. It is done. All you people, all you folks that like Elden Toilet Ring, that like Bloodborne, you got your wish. Sony is now running it. And so I certainly hope you all are happy with what you got. And let's hang on to what we got. Don't let go, girl. We got a lot. So, says Kadokawa also hinted that Sony's cash injection has helped the media company ramp up both the quality and quantity of its game development pipeline, including major titles. Speaking of which, Kadokawa is excited about From Software's upcoming Elden Toilet Ring Night Realm, while Elden Toilet Ring Night Rain will be published by Bandai Namco. Yeah, that's already in the works. It's entirely possible now that the next major From Software game will be funded just to some degree and published by Sony. Dun, dun, dun. There you go. That's verification of what I was telling you all was going to happen. All right, we verified it. There is no getting around it. There is no, well, this is not right. This is not fair. Craig don't know what he's talking about. I am here to bust cheeks and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. That only leaves me with busting people's cheeks. So now somebody asked me on X why I talk about busting cheeks so much. And it is simply because you got a lot of gaydar sounding people out here and they need their cheeks busted. Again, that's the way it is. It don't matter that you gay. You need to understand that. You don't have to be gay. You're getting your cheeks busted. Stop running your mouth. I keep on saying on Twitter, the Xbox community does need to shut up because all you are at this point is a pretty brown man. That's all you are. You're a pretty man. And just be quiet because this is about busting cheeks at this point. So now we know. All right, and so, oh, look at this. I didn't read this article. Oh, my God. Look at this article. Look what I told you guys. Games like Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin were developed under what somewhat similar circumstances. It ended up launching as time PS5 exclusive. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. Uh-oh, Sony. Uh-oh, gamers. Uh-oh. 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 Here come the hammer. Uh-oh. Yeah. Ooh, man, what game is this? That's a pretty intimidating looking thing right there. But these are just, hey, that looks like somebody's about to bust a cheek. There you go. That's the way I look, okay? Then you have this right here. I still don't know what this is. And then you have the infamous logo, Sony Kadokawa. And again, this has happened, and I'm telling you right now, Sony is going to be giving them money, and part of giving them money is going to be they will publish the games. What the hell is this? They will publish the games, and when they publish the games, they will be exclusive. Just trust me. Trust your boy. Trust Uncle Craig that he's telling you the truth. Just trust Uncle Craig. So they will have it. It will be time. Just like Stellar Blade is time. Because Sony doesn't own Shift Up. Sony doesn't own the company that published Rise of Ronin, but they gave them money to publish the game, to help make the game. So Sony, in return, retained publishing rights. That's what happened. The same with Spider-Man. Sony gave money to help Insomniac make that game. In return, Sony got publishing rights. You can go to a whole bunch of games that Sony has done this with. Now, okay, now this is when you all got into that whole thing with, who owns as far as what's second party, what's third party. I personally believe second party is something that you help fund, that you publish, but you don't own the company. That's Stellar Blade. That is, I got second party Sony games here. But a third party game will be like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, Sony may have marketing for Shadows. Just as Microsoft doesn't own EA. Well, not yet. Microsoft doesn't own EA, but Microsoft has the marketing rights, not the publishing rights. EA publishes themselves. So what Microsoft has with college football and with Madden, they've got the entire thing. So they can sit up there and they market those games. Remember, the college football game was marketed with the Series S console. S is in small, or snake, or silly, or shadow, whatever. Where's that? And the same thing is happening with Shadows. Shadows is owned by Ubisoft, but Sony has the marketing deal, not the publishing deal, the marketing deal. You go to Shift Up, and even Hello Games is No Man's Sky. Sony helped Hello Games make No Man's Sky. So Sony published it exclusively to PlayStation. Shift Up's game, Stellar Blade, the same thing. So there's your differences between and first party games will be like The Last of Us and Horizon Zero Dawn and PSVR 2 games that are only on that PlayStation makes, like Horizon, the VR game. Just stuff like that. That's exactly what you're dealing with. Make sure you get the lights up, people, and share the care. So here, let me go ahead and share the care. But ultimately, this is what people were talking about. Will these games be exclusive? The answer is yes. They're going to have timed exclusivity with Sony. So you can fully expect the next Elden Toilet Ring Part 2 to be timed on Sony. You can just expect it, okay? Just be ready for it. Get ready to scream and holler. Get ready to hear the term money hat and go from there. This is from Gaming Rant. You all can go ahead and read this article in full. I recommend you do. I did leave a link in the description so that you all can do exactly that. Yeah, we're also saying Sony Goaty already. Yeah, they already got it. But actually, I think that Microsoft is going to be in the running for some Goaties. I think that they're going to have some games. Okay, that South of Midnight game, is that what it's called? That is looking pretty daggone good. So and so does Avowed. I've heard nothing but really good things on Avowed. So don't be shocked if Microsoft isn't nominated for some of those awards. There we go. Monty White says he's seen the chart. What do you mean? What chart? What chart are you talking about? So, but just so you know, you all can read that article. I recommend you read it. Again, everything's in there. I didn't make anything up. And this is just one more thing that we were right about over here. And now the mainstream media is catching up. The mainstream media is catching up. So, again, you want to be on the cutting edge. You want to hear it before anybody else says it. You come here. So, and go, and we'll just keep it moving. So our next story, let me take this story down, is I'll try to bring up the PSSR story. But first I'm going to have to give you some dead air because I'm going to run to the bathroom. That water, that lemonade I drank is pushing back. Hold on. All right. Sorry. Had to go take care of Mother Nature. So just so you know, again, I'll reiterate, make sure you read the Gamer Rant article. I left a link in the description. And so you all can read it yourself so you all can finally catch up. Again, told you this months ago, said you were going to get an official statement from Kadokawa. It was okay for you to say, well, Craig, I'm just going to wait on something official from Kadokawa, which I basically have said, yeah, make sure you always wait for an official statement from said companies, actor, actress, film studio, whatever. That way you can just not jump the gun like so many people have before. So let me go to this PSSR update story. And so, and this is for you people that are still playing Star Wars Outlaws like me. That's why I'm covering this. So So, oh, Monty White said the Sony from software chart that says Sony publishing their game. Yeah, yeah, and that's what Sony wanted. Sony wanted that publishing rights because they're going to build their publishing up. Wait, what is the news? Come on, True Virgil. True Virgil in the house. We just went over it. Let's see here. I believe True Virgil is a mod, so he can go ahead and ask this question. Okay. So the news is that From Software games from Kadokawa will be published by Sony. That's been verified by Kadokawa. All right. And I left the article in the description from Gamer Rant. We just talked about it for about 10, 15 minutes. And so all you guys who want it, there's a chance. And just as Sony gave money to Stellar Blade publisher Shift Up, Hello Games that makes No Man's Sky, they gave them that. And they gave money to the people who did Rise of Ronin. And what Sony got in return for giving them money was they were able to get publishing rights for that IP on PlayStation. So that's what's happening now. And and Monty White is correct there in the chat. It is verified through Kadokawa. So Sony didn't have to come out and have a big old presser. Why would they? They are the Sony again. People told you guys, well, it's only 10%. But that gave them the publishing rights. So that's what they wanted. They got the publishing rights to the anime. They got the publishing rights to the books that they can make. Now they can make TV shows. So I don't know if you like the video game Sekiro Shadows Die 1,000 Times, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if there's not a TV show, because that TV show Shogun, that's very successful. Sony's going to try to do Ghost of Tsushima, but I don't know how that's going to be different than Shogun. If you're watching Shogun, you in essence are watching Ghost of Tsushima. But up to you guys. With the news is from Sony and Kadokawa. Just to reiterate, Sony now has publishing rights to all Kadokawa games. So that's what we're looking at right now. Okay. So we'll move to the next story, which is PSU from PSU, PlayStation Universe. If you don't know, a couple days ago, Star Wars Outlaws patch 1.51 brings PSSR to latest version up for PS5 Pro. So now, you clearly see a visual difference in what you are looking at. Okay? So this game released in August. It says Ubisoft admitted the sales games were softer not long after the company appointed a new creative director to take charge, which is true, meaning the game is underperforming. And again, I don't know why these companies say they're going to sell X amount of million when they have no clue. Yeah, you would think a Star Wars IP would sell extremely well. And this one, I've enjoyed it. But it's like they said in the review. If you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, you know about the Red Dawn and the Hutt Syndicate. You know about all that. They tried to do a show called The Book of Boba Fett. They brought all this in, Pike Syndicate and all that kind of stuff, the Hutts, all that. So you know about them, and I'm a Star Wars fan, so I know about these syndicates. They basically were saying her not having a lightsaber, that's the reason why this game didn't do well. Meanwhile, Jedi Survivor and Jedi, whatever it's called, Jedi Survivor, Jedi Outlaws, whatever it's called, that did well because dude got a lightsaber. Fair enough. So, but it says here, Star Wars Outlaws on PC will now feature DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation for the 5000 series, or the 50 series they call it here. And so they updated it for that, and they updated it, and they also use DLAA, which I do use on my flight sim game. It's actually pretty cool. And because I have a GeForce card. And it also added PSSR on, says, okay, it's been updated. So this is good. It says fixing a crashing issue on streaming platforms and traveling to Rinpoly Station. Okay, see, I haven't left the first planet. Well, maybe I have. It's been a while since I played. Added support for NVIDIA, and it added PSSR. It added the most updated version. This is good. Fix an issue where K could not dismount the speeder when on a steep incline. I didn't even try. Okay. Fix audio issue from overhead ships would be louder than expected. Okay. Yeah, that they needed to fix. So again, this is something that I am glad they fixed. So if you're playing the game, good deal. Now you're gonna have some different things on the game that you can actually see. And I'm gonna go back and start playing this game as well. Also, another short story. Insomniac did pitch Resistance 4, but Sony didn't want it. I mean, again, Sony's not going to take on every game that's pitched to them. Days Gone Part 2, anybody. Even though Days Gone had a beginning, middle, and end, people like, well, we want a sequel. Sequel to what? Had a beginning, middle, and end. Insomniac did. I keep on forgetting Insomniac did the Resistance games, but in the Resistance Fall, and Man kept falling 3 times. Kind of like, well, how come y'all couldn't defeat Man? So, because he kept getting up. So, yeah, I wouldn't have made another one either. But shout out, everybody kept on saying, where's the sequel? Where's another Resistance game? Well, based on what Ted Price has said in his interview, Ted Price, who works at Insomniac, he clearly said that they did pitch it. He's retiring. He's retiring next month. So he pitched it, and they didn't want it. Now, this doesn't mean they won't make it down the road, but they want Insomniac Games to concentrate on these Marvel games. And I just saw a report that Microsoft can't have any Marvel games until like 2036. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it's true, great day in the morning. But I wanted to show you all this in case you all didn't see this. This has kind of popped up for me this morning. So there you go. You all now are pretty up to date on it. So pretty up to date. And that's about as good as we're going to get it for all you people who want a Resistance game. Now you all can go ahead and put your dick back in your pants because it ain't going to happen. It ain't not going to be able to do, as my generation would say. Nah, baby, I'm not going to be able to do. So you're not doing it. It's not going to happen. So, but we'll move on. I guess we are at the last story. It's 10 after 10. So we are right on pace to be at the last story, and that's where we're at. So once again, we're back to the old adage of exclusives don't matter. And this is just and shout out to Lono, Reforged Gaming. He literally uploaded a video from last year about what he said was going to happen, which was eventually Phil Spencer and Microsoft was going to say that exclusives don't matter, and these clowns are going to go out there, and I'm adding that word clown. He didn't say that. These guys are going to go out there and march around and say, yeah, because Microsoft is doing it, means Sony's got to do it. I give respect out to Brap that he said on Crossfire, and I agree, and I'll paraphrase him. He literally said that everybody believes because one company is doing it that another company has to do it, and that's simply not true. That is not true. And they brought up the whole thing. You can't go to Wendy's and get a Big Mac. You can't go to McDonald's and get a Whopper because those are exclusive to those franchises. That's why those franchises stand out. Yes, they all have cheeseburgers. And well, of course I remember. I'm an old school hip hop guy. So, and I met Double X Posse in Philadelphia. I used to be in hip hop, used to be in the quote unquote hip hop world. Did a couple of songs, so yeah, it was fun. Got a couple of songs on our college radio, and maybe I'll find them one day and play them for you. It's pretty funny. But anyway, what was I saying? Damn it, what was I just talking about? Oh man, exclusives. Okay, so now all of a sudden we're back to exclusives mattering, and Brad saying that. I don't know why you guys do not understand that what one company is doing, another company does not have to do. A company in a position of strength is not going to do what a company in a position of weakness is doing. And I'm going to add this. This is something that I picked up on. I was listening to Crossfire, so shout out to Crossfire and Mooch. What I have picked up on, and I'm going to express this to you all, and I'll unpack it if I need to. What I have noticed is that the people that play on Xbox, they can only afford one console. They can only afford one console. Whereas that the people who are on PlayStation, they may have multiple consoles. But the vast majority of people who have Xboxes, they only have Xboxes. That's literally what I've discovered here in the last probably 4 months. It's like, okay, there's a reason why there's so much consternation with what Sony is doing and what Microsoft is doing. And these guys actually do believe that Microsoft and Sony should just put games out everywhere because they can only afford one console. So again, one console is made, and then I can just go buy that console or a Steam Deck or the ROG and just play all the games. That's what they want because they can't afford two consoles. This is why they are bragging about Game Pass. They keep telling us they don't pay for Game Pass, but I have Game Pass and I know that you pay for it. So I don't know. They can lie to everybody, but they're literally saying because there's so many games, it's like it's free. Like, no, free means you don't pay. You are paying for Game Pass, okay? Monty says that's the American way bullshit way of thinking. Yeah, but again, when you're dealing with it, it should make sense now. Now that, hey, they can only afford one console, so they don't want to have to buy another console because they can't afford it. That's the truth. They can't afford it, so they say, well, everybody should just make games, and then we can just go buy what console we want. And this kind of deploys into what I was told when I had a Series X by the Xbox people that I was talking to on there. And remember, you can be in the middle of something, they can just start talking to you. It's like, the fuck? If you don't turn that off, that feature off. I didn't even know it had that feature. I had to figure out how to turn it off. But in essence, they just don't flat out have the money. And so they're lashing out, saying, well, these companies should take the hit. And it's like, okay, they'll take a hit for maybe a year, maybe two. But ultimately, you got to come up with some money. Like Fleece Johnson says, somebody got to come up with some booty. So and ultimately, that's where we're at and I've noticed that the Xbox gamer is younger than the PlayStation gamer. The PlayStation gamers have more disposable income. So I was listening to MBG yesterday, and somebody in the chat said, you're advocating paying for games. And it's like, yeah, of course we are. We're going to pay for our games. Every game I have, I paid for. So no, I think I take that back. One DLC was gifted to me with Titanfall Princess, where Spider-Man, The City Never Sleeps. She actually sent me a donation to, as a matter of fact, she bought it for me. I think she bought it for me. She said, here, there you go. She sent me a code or something like that. And I played that game. And so I had it. But I've always paid for everything else. So, and people are like, well, you're funding Microsoft. Well, yeah, we've always been funding Microsoft. I mean, nothing changed. Like, if you want to play Call of Duty, you pay for it on PlayStation. That didn't change for you. It changed for the people in the Xbox community because they have Game Pass, and they are going to say, well, we're not paying for it. It's like, yes, you are. The fact that they're putting other games on other platforms and you're upset about it, you're paying for it because those other people are now supplementing what you're doing. So you don't get to have it both ways. You keep saying we don't pay. Okay, well, somebody's got to pay. All right, somebody got to pay. So, and I don't mind paying for my game. That's why I said before, with Grand Theft Auto coming out, Assassin's Creed coming out, Madden, college football, God knows what else, Forza, there's talk of Microsoft Flight Sim coming. So again, this all comes out, that's like 6 or 7 games. So do the math. 7 times 7 is 400 or 49. So I'm looking at spending quite a bit of money. But you have to be, and if you don't have disposable income, like a lot of these Xbox guys don't, Downward Incline says, when did buying a video game you want to play become? But because a bunch of people who don't have disposable income are in the conversation. That's what's happened. It's a bunch of people who just don't have disposable income. So they're saying that the company should adjust to them not having disposable income. That's what they're saying. And therefore do this to this subscription service. Yeah, the company loses money, but I go ahead and I can benefit, even though the company's losing money. So they don't care that the company loses money. So in this case, the company's Microsoft. They're losing a shit ton of cash, and so now Microsoft says, okay, in order for us to recoup this cash, in order for us to recoup it, we got to put our games on other platforms. Well, the same people who were saying Microsoft should not, the same people that are now saying we shouldn't have to pay for these games, they're now upset that Microsoft is going elsewhere to get their money. To me, it makes zero fuck sense. It makes 0 sense to me. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. I'm more than willing to listen. I will sit there and listen. But at the end of the day, what's up, Capono? At the end of the day, exclusivity matters. I mean, even Maytag refrigerators and Maytag washer dryers say they make exclusive. They have exclusive technology. They say it will dry after this. You can put this in there. Oh, you can do that. That is proprietary tech. And so these guys are, this is what I said before, these guys are broke and they can only afford one console, one form of entertainment. They want one form of entertainment to just be able to do everything. Like when Hulk told Thor in Endgame, we might be able to fix everything. They just wanted to do everything so that they don't have to go out and purchase something else because they can't afford it. That's why they're so upset. They can't afford what is out there. That's why, $700, they were throwing a goddamn fit. I mean, it's $700. You should have that laying around. You're supposed to have up to $5,000 just around. Not for, so that if you want something a little bit expensive, a little bit extravagant, then you can go ahead and get it, or you get laid off, or whatever. You move. Like me, I'm fixing to possibly move in 90 days. And so if I move, I gotta have money, right? Gotta have money saved up. That's why I'm kind of like, well, the last new game I'm going to get is Assassin's Creed Shadows. I am going to buy that, but I already have a gift card for I traded in my PS5, my OG PS5. Okay, so and and that's when I got ripped off at GameStop. I was laughing, but I didn't care because I just wanted in-store credit. And I got like Dragon Age. I got a T-shirt, and I kept the rest on a card. That now I have enough. I can just go get Assassin's Creed. So, throwing a fit about a diskless. Yeah, because they were saying, understand what they were saying there, Monty. That it should come. Why is the disc separate? So their complaint is that the disc was separate and they had to pay for it. And when you do not have disposable income, you're going to be upset that you gotta pay extra. I didn't care to pay. It's a Blu-ray player, and I paid $80 for it. My first Blu-ray player, 4K, and it plays 4K movies, right? My first 4K Blu-ray player was $399. It's a Samsung 4K 8500D or 8500C Blu-ray player. It's still here and it still works. But guess what? I had to pay close to $399 or $499. I can't remember which one I paid. Now, to get the exact same thing from a competitor, Sony, which helped create the Blu-ray technology, and so did Samsung, I only had to pay $80. And you all saw me struggling to put that thing on. Put a 1 in the chat if you saw me trying to put that Blu-ray, that DVD. That's what I'm saying. They did complain about that $600 Xbox that comes discless. Oh yeah, I didn't read that right. I'm sorry. They didn't complain about it. They said but not throwing a fit. Okay, I read that wrong. Yeah. Fair enough. My point still stands. But fair enough. They did not complain. Yeah, because Xbox did it. But remember, it was white, and that was them throwing up the flag. Right? Playing Sims 4 while PS4 is down, and I'm glad I went digital because I can play off. Yeah, I mean, I literally was about to play college football, and it was like something's offline. You know, I just clicked the 0 button or the O, and the game came up. It's like, yeah, you just play offline. That's it. You play offline. And the fact that the PlayStation was down, PlayStation had an outage about 120 days ago. So it's kind of like, yeah, this happens all the friggin' time. It's unfortunate it's happening on a weekend, but just go do something else. I'm playing Dragon Age, so I can play a ton of my games, Dragon Age, God of War, but everything I have is physical for the most part. You just bought the PlayStation Blu-ray players. Well, it was a pain for me, and you all were probably laughing. And again, because I did my unboxing live, right? And so that was a pain in the ass because I kept on pulling up the video. Like, it looks so easy to do it. And I was sitting up there struggling. I mean, it was a struggle bus for me. I literally said, man, this is struggle bus fever, right? And everybody was laughing at me. So, but it was fun. It works just fine. Once you get the plate off, it just pop. I can't say it pop. It has a male part and a female part. It just goes right on. And mine was fine. And I thought it would protrude or something. Nope. It's fine. It is fine. So, play that backup log. Yeah, and the only game I have that I guess is I have Elite Dangerous. That's not going to work. And Helldivers 2. Okay, I can't play those games, I guess. But I got so much more to play. So, yeah, broken fanboyed out, I agree. What's up, Kareem Austin? Good morning to you, brother. So, and I want to play Civilization because I haven't played Civilization. I don't think since PS1. I haven't played a Civ game. Maybe it was PS1 or PS2. Was it Civ 1 or Civ 2 I was playing? And again, the goal of Civilization is to find Atlantis. If you find Atlantis, it jumps your technology close to 200 years. So, and that's always fun. It's like, oh, wait a minute, what is this? So, but yeah, here, let me put another media file up. I do need to record some more gaming footage. There we go. So yeah, certainly hope it comes in, it's not damaged, and it works for you. Okay, I certainly, fingers crossed. So, but again, I don't know why these guys, and exclusives matter. I don't know. We literally have to come back to this once a year, and it is simply because Microsoft isn't doing exclusives. Therefore, Sony shouldn't do exclusives. Oh, but Sony is going to be doing exclusives, so that's not going to change. But if you want to wait, Sony's earnings call, I think is Thursday, and you will see and hear yourself what they're going to be doing and saying. Also, Grand Theft Auto was announced that it's still on track to come in 2025. Now, I want to make this clear for everybody. Fiscal 2025 goes into 2026. So just so you all understand, fiscal 2025 will go into 2026. So just make sure you all got that. My personal belief, when will Grand Theft Auto come out? My personal belief is that it will come out early fall. I think they want to try to get it out right when the kids are going back to school. All right? Say there's a difference. Man, he said there's truly a difference in $700 PS5 Pro versus $500 Xbox Series X booted up college football on Xbox, and it's ugly. Hope back on PS Proof. Yes, I haven't played it on X, so I don't know what it's like. Sure, it's not bad, but yeah, you get the Pro does a whole lot of bell and whistle stuff. Does a whole lot of bells and whistle stuff there. So, and it's just hard to explain unless you have it. So, unless you have it. But again, exclusives matter. They're not going to not matter. I, like you, am waiting for Sony's report, which I believe is the 13th. Maybe, I think it's the day before Valentine's Day, but maybe it's on the 14th. But if you want to know, you don't have to listen to me or any of these dumbass podcasters out there. You don't. Again, remember they said, Sony, where's our roadmap? You don't hear them talking about that no more. Because again, the reason they were talking about it was to plug into the selective rage, the outrage culture. Yeah, so you don't hear about the roadmap anymore. You don't really hear about what's it called? What's the name of it? A showcase. You don't really hear about them screaming, where's our showcase? The state of plays are fine. I mean, I don't have it. And again, do not, all these people saying that there's going to be a state of play and all that kind of stuff. That is just something they're saying. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if there's going to be a state of play or not. So don't get caught up in that. And you won't be upset or angry or mad when it don't happen. You just be like, well, yeah, Sony didn't announce it. Therefore, if Sony's not going to say it, then, it's not true unless it comes from them. So just wait for them to announce it. It is what it is. So any other questions or comments? If not, we're going to get on up out of here. I'm going to go get my clothes out of the dryer and get my day started. So any comments, any questions while we're here about Kadokawa and Sony, or the Take-Two news, which is Grand Theft Auto? Those are kind of the two big news topics that I wanted to go over. And so just asking. Just wanting to know. I want to know what. Yeah. If not, we're going to bounce. Give it a few more seconds here. And, all right then. Well, shout out to everybody that's here. True Virgil in the house. Brios is in the house. Sony has had a lot of bad news here. What is their bad news? I mean, they literally just came out and confirmed publishing rights of Kadokawa stuff. What's their bad news? They just got an update for PSSR. I'm asking you, what's the bad news? If you're going to say the outage, the internet outage, oh my goodness, that happens a lot. It just happened like 100 days ago. What? Give me an example on what the bad news is. I mean, any bad news is I'll listen to. But as gamers, you got clarification on Kadokawa. You got clarification from the Take-Two people. So you got clarification on PSSR. All right. Said, what now? Xbox has this problem. Their whole ecosystem is about useless. Well, I mean, again, okay, but if it's, you all know that the internet is intermittent, right? I mean, you all act like it's on all the time. It's simply not. And people can say, well, I'm making excuses. No, I'm not. Sony literally had an outage right around Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving. It's like 100 days ago. So, I mean, I'm just, now, are there games like Elite Dangerous for me? I can't play that because that's always online. I can't play Helldivers. Okay, I can't. But can I play Dragon Age? Can I play Horizon Zero Dawn? Can I play God of War? Can I play? Yeah, I can play these games. If they're in your library, you just go ahead and play them. I can play Assassin's Creed Origins. I can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I can play Valhalla. Give me $1. I can load up Mirage again and play that if I want. I mean, there's nothing going on. So, Concord flopped. Okay, and Sony still sold a record amount of consoles. And Concord, that was in August. Pretty sure ever since Concord got turned off that they won Game of the Year with Astro Bot. Did they not? I mean, am I missing something? So yeah, I hate for a game to fail, but there's a lot of games getting taken offline now. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Okay. So I mean, it sucks that they fail and people end up losing their jobs, but it's part of the business. Games underperform. Well, I'm playing Dragon Age, having fun. It underperformed. I mean, Dragon Age sold 1 million plus, and it's considered a failure. Kingdom Come, whatever it's called, it sold 1 million, and it's considered a success. So, go figure. But yeah, Concord failing. Okay, it was an arena shooter and a whole lot of arena shooters. So I don't know why Sony thought it would work, but fair enough. Yeah, they thought it would work and it didn't, and they failed. So they tried and they failed. At least they tried, right? So what? It's simple. Do you want people to try new things or not? Because we don't get nowhere as a society. We don't evolve unless we're doing new things. So just asking. The Nintendo NSO games are downloaded for their services. You rarely hear about the network going down. Oh, okay. Well, they're not on the same network. And in the internet, I mean, companies that are on internet, they have problems all the time. Sucks. But it's because, oh, it doesn't happen to Nintendo. Oh, okay. And so what? Doesn't mean it won't happen to nobody else. So Nintendo does not have Dragon Age where they can go woke. But they might. They might. EA may say, we're going to put it over here on this game. And then the whole Japanese culture that buys it will go woke. They say it'll be super woke. I know Sick Humor's talking about he was either going to play Dragon's Dogma or Dragon Age. I like, play Dragon Age so you can go woke. You know, just go full woke, like super woke. So, but yeah, I don't know why I personally don't know why people don't understand internet stuff goes down. Sucks, but it does happen. You should not be dependent upon it. I mean, you should not be. You should, I don't know what else to say about it. So, but you all are a different generation and you all have grown up with the internet and you don't know what to do without it. Go outside. Go to a movie. Go do something else. Oh, it's okay. You need a solid multiplayer. You have Helldivers 2. That is a pretty solid multiplayer. Period. It is. It is. And you're getting fair games. You have Destiny. I mean, you have Marathon coming. Guys, come on. Gotta do better than this. So, and they don't have to come out and sell 10 million copies on a game just so you all feel better. It's nice if they did, but it's not necessary. Just saying, not necessary. But all right, guys, I'm going to get on off here. And go ahead and start my day. I got to get my clothes out of the dryer. That's like the first thing I got to do right now. So, but shout out to everybody here. Ice Queen's in the house. She's playing The Sims 4. He's just playing it offline. Yeah, I'm playing Dragon Age. I'll probably end up playing. I may play Stellar Blade today. I may see what that looks like on my pros. All I've been hearing is how good it looks. So you got your solid multiplayer. You can play MLB The Show. Well, technically that's a solid multiplayer. I guess you can't play it right now. You play Gran Turismo. That's a multiplayer. Just guys, come on, stop. You got everything. Okay, stop. Getting to a point where you're inconsiderate, be like, oh, it's not enough. Okay. But all right, then, I'm going to jump off here. I appreciate you all coming here this early Saturday morning with your donut and your coffee. And we will talk to you guys later. Also, again, make sure you read those articles I left posted about Kadokawa and Sony and Take-Two. Well, there you go. Playing college on your pro. That's a multiplayer game. You can link up with somebody and play against them if you want. I don't know about right now, but you can if you want. So make sure you all go back and read over those articles. Left them in the description. Also, shout out to Porter Rock. He did a 101 with Post Up. Make sure you all go listen to that. All right, you guys. You all have a good one. And I'm watching the Super Bowl tomorrow, so maybe talking about that next week as well. Certainly hope your favorite team wins, and whoever you're rooting for wins. If you go to a Super Bowl party, have fun and be careful.